Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senior Regional Director of Operations, Joel Griffiths.
All right. Can you hear me? Not yet? Am I on? All right, good afternoon. How we doing? All right. Well, hey, as the workshops draw to a close, our third speaker is certainly not going to disappoint. Michael Hoffman is the creator of the Secrets of the One Percenters program series that has tapped into what the best of the best do and say to become people of influence. Michael has been igniting Fortune 500 organizations with seminars, workshops, and keynotes for almost 20 years. He is the president of Igniting Performance, a training and consulting firm specializing in the areas of sales, leadership, and building customer loyalty. Effective training combines the right informational tools with the right motivation. Motivation alone is fleeting, but the right tools without motivation are lifeless. Michael provides both. So let's give a big Whataburger welcome to Michael Hoffman. Come on up, Michael.
Let me tell you the background of this video. You might have seen it. It was February. We're iced in here in Dallas, Texas. So we don't do hard water. So if we get a quarter of an inch, you know what the ice is like. The ice freezes over, everything stops, nobody leaves the house. We're frozen in the house. Now I have 4 children. They're grown now. They're in their 20s. So my daughter says, hey, what are you doing? And I go, I don't know. What are you doing? She goes, let's make a video. I said, okay. Let's make a video. And so we stuck an iPad up in the kitchen and we turned on this new song called Uptown Funk that had just come out. And I said, wow, that's pretty cool. And she made a video. And, we actually filmed it twice, literally, twice. And mainly the second time is because the first time it fell over, so we didn't get the whole song. So we did it another time. And we had that little video that you see playing. The thing was that she put it out there on Facebook and she goes, hey, I don't know what you're doing. We called it the Ice Day Challenge. And we sent it out to our relatives. And we said, I don't know what you guys are doing on this ice day. This is what we're doing. And she sent it out there and the darn thing took off. And the reason why I want you to see, because you might have seen it. You might have been the ones that have helped it go viral. There's a definition of viral. And the definition of viral is 5 million views in 7 days. Well, have you ever had a video out there that did a little more than you thought it would? See, that's not my world. It's my daughter's world. Maybe not the millions, but it's not my world. I put stuff out there all the time. I get excited when I go, look, it was viewed. Woo! The first day it was like, holy cow! In an hour we got 1,000 people looking at this thing. Are you kidding me? 1,000 people? Oh my God! And then it was like, but within an hour, another 2 hours, 3 hours. Oh my gosh! It's been shared. It's shared all over the place. This is so awesome! Holy cow! 100,000 people after the first day. You're kidding me. You're flipping kidding me. This is crazy. And then we lost a week of our lives because you don't do anything else. You just go refresh, 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 refresh. And at one time, it was getting 1 million views every 3 hours. I know. So we hit 7 million in 5 days. That video, that stupid video, is at 13 million views. It's been shared 250,000 times. And I get asked about it all the time. Oh my gosh, Mike, that video, when are you going to make your next viral video? And I go, well, we didn't actually make the first viral video. We're sort of victims of the viral video thing. We didn't create anything. We just kind of did what we were doing and it took off. And all of a sudden it hit me. Holy cow, that's so true. That is so true. That video, they asked me, how long did it take you to make that video? And I go, that video took me 24 years to make. My daughter's 24 years old in that video. That video took me 24 years. My wife and I worked hard on that video. We did. We put a lot of time and effort into that video. You create a family. And they go, I don't understand what you mean. I go, well, we created a culture in that family where my daughter was, first of all, comfortable enough with her father where she could go, hey, let's make a video. And I was confident enough in her that she wasn't going to make me look like an idiot. I was wrong, but I was confident that if we were going to be idiots, we're going to be idiots together. And she put it out there, and all of a sudden, it took off. And we hit like 7 million in 5 days, and it was crazy. The second day, we got a call from America's Got Talent. I'm not joking. They call us up and they go, we love your video. We love your act. And we go, what? And they go, yeah, we want you guys to come be on the show. We're like, I don't understand. Be on the show for what? They said, oh, no, this is gonna be great. You're gonna be great. America loves this stuff. I go, well, wait a minute. Isn't the premise of the show to find something to move on to Vegas? There's no act. What are you gonna do, roll out a kitchen? I don't understand. What do you want us to do? She goes, no, America loves that thing. Americana, dad and daughter, and if you was my wife, the family thing, they love the thing. And I go, so wait a minute, there's no way for them to move us on because there's no act. So the most they can do is pat us on the head and go, you guys are really great. No, so you want us to be rejected totally on national television? She goes, well, you're not gonna win. We said, we're good, thanks. Thank you very much. That little video was shared 250,000 times. And the reason why I bring it up and make such a big deal about it is because there were 2 camps of people that sent us notes. Because we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of notes. And they prepared us. People who have done this type of thing have said, just get ready because you gotta have to have a thick skin. Because, I mean, you know, people there's curmudgeons out there. And they can get behind a screen where they're anonymous, and they're going to say the meanest things. Just get a thick skin. We had hundreds of notes. We had 1 negative one, and that was from my nephew, and he is a curmudgeon, and we expected that. So that's fine. That's fine. All the others fell into 2 camps, and they said one of 2 things. They said, boy, that video reminds me of, or I sure wish I had that group, that family, that relationship, or that really reminds me of my family or my daughter or my dad or my crazy siblings. And it was 2 things, and it really made me think, I go to work every single day in a family. I go to work every single day where I spend more hours with you during the week than I do my own family, my biological family. You know what that makes you? That makes you family. My gosh, it's even in your paperwork. It's in your bylaws. You belong to a company that was started by family. My gosh, we're run by family. We call each other family. But there's something that I think that is a great message to end a day on. And you hear it all the time. Mel started out, she says, we are not the victims of what's going on. We actually create. We can overcome anything. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do something. Be active, do something. You can change, you can do it. We had Gary talking about, it's about being authentic. It's about owning the customer experience. And he talked about how we create this experience through culture. Training is important, but it's gotta be part of who we are. Well, it's in the verbiage all the time, but my question to you is how do you create an example where you go, yeah, this is the way we do it? At the Hoffman household, we're not afraid to put up an iPad and just go nuts. I will tell you this, when it gets cold outside, this is what happens. I surveyed the top 100 people at our gathering today, and I asked you as leaders, as managers of a wonderful organization, a family company named Whataburger, what do you love about your organization? What makes you wake up in the morning and go, I get to do this again? Here's what they said. They said, you know what I love, Mike? I love working with people that don't show up. I really do. Give me a call out to make my day just interesting. Line them up, an entire shift. Would you guys get together and coordinate this? I don't understand. I love that. You know what I love, Mike? I love the customers. I do. I love the crazy ones. I love the ones that will visit every store in my area and just go nuts about what they can't have. It's fun. It's like they spread the evil just evenly around everything. It's fantastic. No, you're complaining. We don't even serve Sundays, okay? Move on. I love that. You know what I love, Mike? I love cleanouts. I love the fact they clean out all of the wipes. That's what we do. Please, take all of the ketchup, which, by the way, let's talk about ketchup for a second. I just heard that the numbers on the bottom of the ketchup are not different flavors. We've been going to Whataburger forever. I mean, I live here in Carrollton, Texas. Whataburger is a staple. As a matter of fact, my daughter, who's getting off a plane this morning, every time she flies, because she's a speaker like her dad, she even sent me an Instagram, I would show you if I had an opportunity, to say, hey, I've landed, and the first place we go is a Whataburger. And we know that there's a difference between the ketchup. So hearing today that the number 2 ketchup means nothing different than the number 1 is, I'm crushed, and I almost didn't come on. I almost didn't come on today. I went, it was a lie. It was all a lie. I don't know how it got started, but it was a lie. You kept pushing the spicy ketchup as being different. We're going, no, number 2 is so much better than number 4. And we didn't know. We didn't know. So I have to take a picture because Mel did it. I'm going to do it too. So everybody, raise your hands. Let me see you. Give me some lights. Give me some lights. Whoa, this is for Allie. Yeah. All right, that's for her. So I surveyed the top 100 people, and I asked her, I said, how many people do you have working for you? The most common answer was, 3 out of 10. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means either. How many people have that one customer by name? You know what I'm talking about? That one, just that one customer by name. That one customer that you go, oh no. Anybody have that one member that's retired, that team member that's retired, but their body keeps coming into work every day? You know? I'm talking truth here. This is real talk. Who's been doing this more than 5 years? Where are you? Raise your hand. Be proud. Woo! Leaders, where are you? Oh, I know it's a veteran crowd. How about 10? Where's my 10-year people? Yes. How about 15 years? Get them up high. Nice. 20 years. 20 years, just raise them. 25. Help the person next to you who's trying to raise their hand. They're tired. They're exhausted. How about 30 years? Where are my 30-year people? Woo! Don't even care. How about 35? Anybody 35? Where are my 35s? Anybody 40? 40 years. Anybody 40 years? Raise your hand high. How about 45? Anybody 45? Wow. Okay, now it's a race. All right, who's 50? Who's 50? Be brave. Let me know. Anybody 50 plus? Anybody? How many years, sir? Yeah, somebody help him. He's tired. He's exhausted. He's going, I don't remember. It's over 75, I think, something like that. I started when I was 7. What do you want from me? He's angry and bitter. We were all jaded back then. That was all right. How many years? 48. How many years? Really? Is that true? Okay. How many years? 48. Give the kings of the room a round of applause, please. "48 years. That's fantastic. You know, that's one of the things I've noticed about this organization is when you're in, you never leave. That's a very, very good sign. It really is. That means you're part of something. You're part of something. You actually, the words mean more than just the word. It's not just family. How many, 48 years, has that list changed in 48 years? Did we have people issues 48 years ago? Yeah, it was supposed to be you two, technically. It was just you guys, but that was about it. But, you know, obviously they're not sitting by each other, so you had a lot of issues with each other. I'm not talking to him anymore. I'm done. Did we have technology issues 48 years ago? Yeah, it was different technology. It was different. Remember this technology? Anybody remember this technology? Now, some of you don't know what I'm doing. This is the way we made copies back in the day. It was not that long ago with the blue paper. Remember that technology? Some of you do not know. You were not born during this technology. This was our drug of choice back then. You could tell people who made a lot of copies because they're like, yeah, no, I'll make copies for you. Sure, absolutely. It's different technology. What is your name, sir? One more time. Nick, the king of the room. He's been here for 48 years. Technology issues. Different technology issues, but we had technology issues. Did we have people issues? Did we have customer issues 48 years ago? Yeah. How about change? Did we have change 48 years ago? Can you imagine if we were doing the same things we did for 48 years? You know, as things advance, we have to move. As things progress, as systems and processes change, you've changed all the time. Who's been doing this lesson 5? Raise your hand. Where's my lesson 5 folks? Be proud. Yeah, we're the newbies, the new leaders. Look at you, fresh, and you're not bitter and jaded like the rest of us. Just happy you're here. How about lesson 3? Who's lesson 3? Yeah. How about 1? Where's my 1-year, fresh, spanking new leaders? Raise them high. I want to see them. How about anybody 6 months? Anybody 6 months or less? 6 months or less? Anybody like a month? I'm just curious. Is there like a month for like fresh? 1 month? How long? 3 weeks. Isn't that nice? Anybody beat 3 weeks? How long? 4 weeks. No, I mean less than 3 weeks. Anybody less than 3 weeks? Yeah. Otherwise, 48 years would, you got a lot of good. But see, this is what happens when we have a competition company. When you have a company that goes, by the way, we like Olympic type stuff like that. Because every time there's something comes up, anybody beat that? Yeah, I beat that. What's the question? Don't care. I'm in and I win. That is a future leader of this organization right there. Love that. Good for you. Good for you. What is your name, sir? 3 weeks? What is your name? Javier? Javier. Can we have a round of applause for the newbies, the fresh people there? Woo! You remember. Remember when you got started? Remember when you got brought in? You got brought into this big old family, this Whataburger family. This Whataburger family that's messy. This Whataburger family that has people that call in all the time saying, by the way, I'm not coming. I don't know if you know that. This messy family that has people that you know by name, that work with you all the time, customers that you learn what they like and what they don't like, customers that drive you nuts, systems and processes that as soon as you get down, we change. You had it down too. We're going to mix it up on you. Man, you got your team going just the way you like it, and the darn people want to grow and move away from you. How do we stop that, Mr. Hoffman? It's crazy, this big family. This picture is actually a picture of my mom's funeral. The day she went to heaven. This was a day that we were we were iced in. It was a November day. It was actually Thanksgiving Day weekend when she passed away in 2007. I have 8 brothers and sisters. I come from a large family. And when I say this was a happy day, it's because we had a party for Ma. If you knew my Ma, you know we'd have a party. This day these are the only people that were able to get there through the ice and the snow to get into Dallas that day. And that center guy is my father. He's 92. So in 2007, you do the math, it's 4 years ago. So he's or 10 years ago. Mom's been gone for a bit. He's surrounded, he's got 8 kids. He's got 8 kids surviving. He's got 24 grandkids. He's got 36 great-grandkids. That's a messy family. The reason why this picture's a little bit fuzzy is because this is your family. In this group of people, there are folks that I believe are walking saints. They're straight to heaven with them. In this group of people, there are folks that have done time. In this group of people are people that don't talk to each other. In this group of people, and there's one core that runs through it all, and that is every single one of those people would drop anything for anybody else in that picture. And that family was created. It was created. We've heard culture a couple of times today. But culture is created. We're not the victims of our success. We're not the victims of our culture. We create culture. And there's a word that I think I want to end our time and our workshops with. And that word is own. See, there are people in this picture that you would say, I can't believe you actually fit there. And I would go, oh, then you're not looking close enough. Every single one of these people in this picture bring a part to something collectively that is an experience, just like your stores, just like your restaurants. I want to talk about you. I want to talk about what is our role when we create this. What do we do when we create this? How do we create this? Because if you don't approach it on purpose, it doesn't happen. If you don't own it as a leader, nothing else happens. There's an old expression that says the fish stinks from the head. That's you. Ha! How do we, Javier? Is that right? We want you to be around for 48 years like Nick. We want you to be the king of the room. How do we help you understand the game? The game. I mean, look at our kings from the room. He's sitting by the back of the door because he's been through a million of these going, this better be good or I'm out. I'll be honest with you, I'll be out. Javier is right in the middle of the front section. He's got his pen out. Let's go. Let's learn something. So great. We want you to be around. So you got to understand the game. How do you own it? How do you become that person of influence? How do you do it? What do you do as a leader, as a manager? How do you do this? See, Javier, your goal. Your job, Whataburger, leadership, management. What's the difference? My world, my job. Nick is trying to pass on. Okay, your job. Your job. It's a tornado. That's you. How many would agree? Yeah, don't sugarcoat it. Do not sugarcoat it for him. He's got to know. I know we come to these gatherings and we go, oh, Whataburger, woo, and everything is blue. We bleed orange, yeah. And then you go home and you open the door and it goes, and you go, ah! 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 5 o'clock, we'll see you guys later, okay? Have a good day. Right? Here's the problem. Problem is, according to the kings of our room, this tornado's been around for 48 plus years. You know what that means? In the next 48 years, guess what? Same tornado. We're going to have people problems. We're going to have issues. We're going to have systems and process changes. We're going to have competition. You're not going to be in the best restaurant location. You're not going to have everything work perfectly. You're not going to have hired properly because you were desperate and you made bad choices. And the tornado will rise sometimes to an F5 finger of God. And I know that's very challenging because last night we actually had a tornado right here locally. And there were people that were actually harmed, and 2 people lost their lives. So this metaphor is a little ill-timed. And I was really contemplating, do we want to not use it? But the reality is, it is challenging, isn't it? You are going back to a whirlwind, to a crazy life. You know, we bring people into our restaurants and we say, come be a part of this. But sometimes we're so crazy in this tornado, we forget if the tornado's been around for 48 years, then the tornado's really not the problem. So if the tornado's not the problem, because this is the way it is, this is called business. So if the business isn't the problem, then what's the problem? Over here. If we can just get Javier to understand that what he says and does inside the craziness of his job is everything. See, our speakers were right today. We create this. There's got to be a way that we do it. And yes, I can tell you how to smile, and I can tell you all the words to say, but the fact is, if we're not living it as leaders, if we're not holding people accountable as managers, if we don't understand the game of how we get somebody who doesn't even know us to come be a part of our restaurant experience and help them understand the words that are in all of our papers and up on the plaques, then we become the victims of our culture. And there's a lot of things we can blame as opposed to the masters of our culture. My name is Michael Hoffman. I'm president of a company called Igniting Performance. Sorry, that's company policy. It is my pleasure to work with organizations around the country, internationally, on this topic, the topics of being people who own it. And I want to leave you with a couple of thoughts. So stand from your chairs. Stand from your chairs boldly and strongly. Stand from your chairs. Let's talk about being people of influence. This is your crazy life. This is your tornado, and I know we don't wear ties in our organization. Excellent. But we got to figure out where we start, and this is where we start. Have you ever been on before? And what I mean by on is, have you ever said something or done something that had such an impact where you owned that interaction, where when people walked away, they said, that's why we shop here? Where one of the people that work with you say, I love this place. Have you ever done that? Have you ever hung up the phone and just wanted to go, did anybody hear me? I was amazing. I was fantastic. I know you have. I know you have. Have you ever walked away from that angry customer and just wanted to go, and that's how it's done? You have. You have. See, here's the deal. This craziness doesn't allow you to celebrate it, because as soon as you handle it where you should have gone, what just happened, you move on to the next tornado. And you fail to recognize that it's not your pheromones that make you successful. It's what you do and it's what you say. That's what a professional is. A professional reaches into that bag that we get when we're kids. We're born with this empty bag. It's got some personality stuff. But as you grow, you add from your upbringing and your parents' experiences and all the education that you went through and everything you lived through, and you add things to that bag. All the education the company invests in you in, and you add to that bag. And it's that stuff you reach into when you walk into that situation and go, assess, assess, assess. I'm going to say it this way. And out it comes. Blah. I'm going to handle it this way. Blah. I'm going to own this particular situation. And people walk away going, I love that guy. She's fantastic. And I want you to handle it this way from now on. Your feet are a little farther than your shoulders. Practice with me. You got to know what success feels like if you're going to go back there over and over again. Your shoulders are up and back, filled with bravado. Get a little cocky if you want to. Dun, 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 dun. Put in a jaunty tilt. Go ahead, own it. There you go, own it. And your hands sweep across your hips. Now, don't just do this. This is so stupid. I can't believe this is so stupid. No, I want sweepage, sweepage. Dun, 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 dun. And your head is up slightly to the side. Not too far. That's the dork zone. Don't do that. Just a little bit. Little bit into the future. And you say the words, I am master of the tornado. That sounds good. That sounds really good. Okay, I want you to say this. I want you to say, I own it. All right, get neutral, get neutral, get neutral. There's a reason why a great organization pulls you out of the tornado every once in a while. And they say, come have fun. Come have fun, invest in yourselves, bump into each other, meet friends. We need to connect. Family is built. That's why we bring you here. But I want you to go back into that craziness, and I want you to be on purpose. I want you to own those interactions. I want you to own your people. A leader has one job, and that is to make their people think and do. My job is to grow people. It's not to flip burgers only. It's not to be in line. It's not to pick up the things that spill. It is to grow people. Everything else is done as example because it has to be taken care of. But my main job is people. That's why I'm in a role in leadership. Management is how I do that. The way I like looking at it is leadership is the light, management is the heat. And you've got to know what success looks like, so get neutral. Think about all the people that represent you being here. Think about them. Think about the ones that you got to go back and go, oh, I own you now, Jack. Think about those people. And on the count of 3, I want you to assume the position. And I know for some of you that means something completely different, but not today. Not today. No, no. There's a lot of management in this room. All right. Sweepage. And you say the words, I own it. All right, get neutral, get neutral. Get that one person in mind. Ready? On the count of 3. Say it. 1, 2, 3. Say it. Turn to the person next to you, look them square in the eye, and say, if you tell anybody about this, I swear I will kill you. Have a seat, have a seat, have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. So what do we own, Mike? Well, we own the restaurant experience. You know, there was a time when you got married to Whataburger. There was a time when you got married and you said, yes, let's do this. Let's spend the rest of our lives together. and you started to get yourself a little family. And that little family had all kinds of personalities in it. As a matter of fact, some of you were shocked at the people that you brought on board because that's not the way you interviewed. I know, right? I don't know who replaced you as an exact replica, but they kept the happy one. And your family grows, and your job is to influence them. Your job is to make them grow into a team that has your personality. By the way, if you went to my church and you looked up our church directory under families, most families have pictures of their families, you know, like with the awkward prom poses. This is our picture. So if you're going H's, Hoffman. Oh, okay, that's the Hoffman family right there. I have 3 daughters and a son. They're in their 20s now. In fact, my son just recently, he said, Dad, you know, we don't have any Santa pictures. I go, really? He goes, no. I go, let's go get one. So we went and got a Santa picture. We went to go tip that Santa $20. He goes, no, keep it. That was awesome. My son's looking at Santa going, you smell of beef and cheese. My team has a very specific personality. And if the fish stinks from the head, my team stinks to high heaven on purpose. I grew that video for 24 years. My wife and I worked hard on helping them understand, do you know who you are in this family? Do you know what that means? Do you know what we think of you? Do you know what we expect of you? Do you know what happens when you're off course? Do you know that you can expect us to behave a certain way when you are? You can trust that. My job is to tell you when you're on and tell you when you're off. I am not your friend. I am more than that. I'm your dad. And I own that role. The one thing I love is, for the smart ones, it's just like that at work too, you know? You're going to spend more of your time with us than you are during the week than your own family. So let's create something special. Let's create that. A leader provides the vision. Here's what's going on. A manager provides the heat that holds people accountable and helps them grow, because I can't grow by myself. I don't grow in a vacuum. I need you. Let's talk about the difference. Do me a favor. I want to grow this. I want to grow a team that will allow me to come to an organization event like this for 3 days and not worry about the place burning down. That's how you know you're on track. I remember doing a presentation once for an organization, and I was working with the top leaders, and every 10 minutes this guy's beeper went off. It's an old story. So his beeper went off, and eventually I had to, at the break, I went, dude, you're killing me, man. Every time it would go off, he had to go up, and then he would come back in a few minutes. He goes, I am so sorry. I just can't leave without the place burning down. You know, they just can't live without me. I go, are you the manager? Are you new? Is this a new team? He goes, no, I've been with these guys for 10 years. You've been with this team for 10 years, and you can't leave for a day to invest in yourself without them calling you every 10 minutes? He goes, I know, I just can't replace me. I go, you need to be here. I didn't want to tell him, but I wanted to go, you suck. Your job is to grow your people. One of the greatest things you can bring to an organization is to be a place where if you want to advance in Whataburger, you come work with our team. We don't grow you to keep you here. We grow you to expand. That's the greatest gift. You want to see your career expand in Whataburger? You get the mentality of, do you know what your role is? Our role is to create family, create opportunities. I want strong, confident family. That's what I want. So let me show you something. Stand from your chairs. Open up your eyes and your minds for just a moment. I really want you to pay attention. If we ran out of time right now and we did nothing else but this exercise, every moment that you had in investing to get here will be worth it if you just pay attention. There are threads that will run through an experience you're about to have. So really pay attention. Are you ready? Excellent. I want you to go out of your way. And I know that you've been around people all day long. You might be sitting next to the people still. It was kind of interesting after Mel had us move. I wonder how many of you went back to the same people that you were with as soon as she left. Oh, it's very telling. So here's what I want you to do. not the people that you've already met. So you're going to have to mush. Feel free to mush in the aisles, whatever you need. But I want you, and keep in mind, because of the time and the size of this crowd, really pay attention to my instructions, okay? So if I say come on back quickly, so we don't waste time. But I really want you to open up your observation skills, and I want you to watch and participate. Find 5 people in this room that you have not acknowledged yet, and acknowledge them. Go. Very nice. How you doing, Noel? Michael, nice to meet you. Freeze! Everybody freeze! Don't sit down, just freeze right where you're at. Holy cow, some of you are like at 7 people already. You're overachievers, it's crazy. If you didn't get to 5, that's okay. I'm gonna mix it up a bit. I still want you to mush. I want you to find 5 more people, except this time I want you to do it differently. This time, I want you to do it as if you're at a family reunion and we haven't seen each other for 10 years. Go!
Felix, good to see you, brother.
Good to see you. How are you? Oh, John, how's it going? How you doing, buddy? Nice to meet you. Okay, come on back, you wild animals. Come on back, come on back. It's too late, yeah. Come on back, you wild animals. Have a sit, have a sit, have a sit. That was weird. Wasn't that weird? I'm here to tell you that in that silly little exercise is any success you've ever experienced and any success you'll ever experience if you just understand what just happened. So give me an observation, any observation that you can think of. Just throw it out. Warm? Love. Now hang on a second. We got love, energy, and warmth. Now those are interesting words. What did you experience that made you say such a powerful word as love? She said genuine care and love for strangers. Now, I'm going to push back a little bit because she has no idea if it was genuine or not. I really want you to note that. Because in her heart, she goes, that was genuine. And you go, yeah. She's no. But in her mind, she has interpreted that you meant it when you came in. I really want you to note that. So just because our intent is one way, we're making impressions on people that we have no idea what the impressions are unless we pay attention. So on a positive side, she says, I really sense genuine acceptance, love, and affection. Very, very good. Somebody said yes, ma'am. Happiness. Again, that's an ethereal word. So give me what you said, what you experienced that made you say happiness. Okay. Wow, she just said that we have a young lady over here who's pregnant and that she shared, yeah, look at this word, not me. Not me. Yeah. That was good. One guy turns to her and goes, you're pregnant? She goes, back off right now, Jack. I tell you, That's not even funny. No, it's one row up. She's pregnant. Okay, very good. Yeah, and congratulations, by the way. See how your glow is just obvious? It's just obvious, this wonderful glow. When are you due, by the way? I'm just curious. September, so is this first, second? Are you first? So new. My daughter's due on the 26th of May with her second child, and her first was born a year ago. So breastfeeding does not prevent pregnancy. Just want you to know that. Whataburger's going to grow in some way, you know. Just everybody's making employees. All right. Yes, ma'am. She says it got loud because everybody was sharing and communicating more. Okay, let's start there. So, you know, here's the deal. She says, you know, this woman shared with her a personal moment, you know, and she could see the emotion in her face. She says that people were sharing it got loud. What was the difference between round 1 and round 2? More energy, more smiles, okay? Yes, sir. Enthusiasm, because now keep in mind, I thought you did really well in round 1, right? I thought round 1, but there was a difference between round 1 and round 2, wasn't there? All right, let me cut to the chase. Here's the deal. I put you in a situation where you had to make a choice. Am I going to play or not? Now, we've got a very large crowd here, obviously. We got over 1,000 people in this room. I promise you, there are 1,000 different personalities in this room. Not everybody liked that. As soon as I said stand from your chairs, some of you, it's just your way. I'd rather listen. Thanks. But as soon as I said stand, some of you went, oh no. He's one of those. You know, we can take him. We don't have to do this, right? I mean, you know that, right? So, I mean, that was you. Now, some of you, your personality was, we get to stand, we get to stand. I sure hope we get to hug. You know, that's just your way. It's your way. So we've got a big family with 1,000 different personalities, and I said, stand from your chairs. So I put you in a situation where you had to make a choice. You had to say, am I going to own this or not? You know, most of you were going, are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? That's not what a leader is, by the way. That's not what a person of influence is. A person of influence doesn't wait for the people around them to give their permission or to make it safe. Whataburger will experience the success because you're going to be put in situations where you have to make choices. And you decide, am I going to play? So I give kudos to the people whose personalities kind of lean towards, it's not my favorite, but I'm going to do it anyway for whatever reason. You chose to play, kudos to you. You know, that's a sign of a very successful person. That in this situation, even though it might not be my first choice, I'm going to choose. Why? Because I'm going to say it's best if I do this. That is a professional. In this situation, I'm going to behave this way. And so I said, stand from your chairs. And you all had to decide, am I going to stand or not? So you stood from your chairs. And then I said, okay, meet 5 people. Another situation I put you in. And all of you met 5 people, and it was wonderful. And by the way, I love it. I just love watching people. Everybody's got different personalities. Do me a favor. Would you stand up for me, Mark? I love, well, come up here, Mark, so they can see you. I love doing this. Round of applause for Mark. Woo! I love watching people. So everybody's coming up, and everybody's got different styles. You know, everybody's got different styles. Hey, how you doing? And round 1 was great. There was nothing wrong with round 1. I thought your enthusiasm was great just because you played, just because you participated. Everybody played. But I love watching the little neuro-linguistic stuff because I'm a people person. So I love watching this. And you got 1 or 2 things. This is very formal. We call this business. You know, how you doing, Mark? Good to see you. Good to see you. And everybody's, oh, yeah, it's very nice. Because why? Whatever. Why did we start in round 2? That's the question I want you to ask. Because there was a difference between round 1 and round 2. Round 2, there were no bubbles. Round 2 was different. But round 1, everybody said, how you doing? Good to see you. Now, some of you with different personalities go, you know, you were mocking it. You're number 2. I've got 3 left, and then I'm done. Some of you are going, this is stupid. Isn't it stupid? This is so stupid. You know? I love the different styles, because some of you, I call this a preacher. How's your mom and them? How you doing? Good to see you. You know? This is really gets nuts. This is where I love watching people's hands positions, because, you know, neuro-linguistically, this means I have the power. This means you have the power. I work with one of my favorite executives in the world. She's the president of the U.S. for Le Creuset, the brand of cooking ware. She's the most wonderful, genteel Southern belle I mean, she makes you feel like butter. She really does. And I love it. The first time I met her, I just watched her for a while, and she would come up and she would do this. She'd turn her hand down. This is giving them authority. She is the president of everything in the U.S. And I don't care who she'd meet. She'd go, how you doing? How are you, darling? And then she would do this. You all right? Everybody okay? Now, what that means is, listen, you have all the power, but not really. Love that. Round of applause for Mark. So I put you in a situation where you had to choose. Now, what did you choose? Well, here's what you had to own. The first thing you had to own is you had to own, I'm going to play. And that is the number one thread that you've heard today. It was the thread that you heard from Mel. It was the thread that you heard from Gary, is we have to choose to play. We're not the victims of our success. We create our success. However you get there, count whether it's Mel's fabulous thing, which I've adopted, and or whatever your approach is. It's how do I be authentic? It's because I'm choosing to act this way. And because of that, you receive the benefits of that. So you had to play. You have to play. Turn to the person next to you and say, I choose to play. I choose to play. Then I said, all right, meet 5 people. Everybody met 5 people. You guys did a good job. And then I said, let's change it up. And what I did was I added a vision, just like Lynn, just like Tom, just like Hugh, just like Mom and Dad, Harmon and Grace, they had a vision. They said, here's the vision. The vision is family. It's just a word. I promise you, with 1,000 people in this room, there's 1,000 different visions of family. Some of you are going, family, really? Are you sure? I'll treat you like out-of-town family. I don't know why you said that, but you did. So I threw out a vision. I said, let's change it up. Let's treat each other like family. And here's what happened in milliseconds. You took that vision and you interpreted it through you, because not everybody is the same. Not everybody sees the world with authentic, genuine love. Not everybody sees it through that filter. Not everybody sees the stand from your chairs through the same filter. So you had to take that vision and you took it and you interpreted it immediately, and that turned into a choice, a small little choice, where you said, okay, I got it. And in milliseconds, I said, let's treat each other like family, meet 5 people, go. I didn't tell you to hug. Don't go blaming that on me. A lot of people go, oh, you're the hug guy. I'm not the hug guy. You're the hug guy, evidently. I didn't, this is Whataburger, the love company. Woo! Because as soon as I said, let's treat each other like family, go. Somebody, and this happens in milliseconds, take the vision, put it through your own filter, and you turn to somebody, and I don't know who started it, but somebody did, and you went, ah, like that. That's a strong choice, don't you think? That's a strong choice. That's such a strong choice that you're making somebody else make a choice. And they're looking at you like, oh, good Lord. Oh, what the heck? Ah! And then people next to you are going, we can do that. I didn't know we can do that. Ah! Wildfire. I choose to play. I own my choices. Little tiny choices. That's how we own it. Little tiny choices to be a manager, to say, I want to live this. The fish stinks from the head, so how can I demonstrate this? I'm first. I appreciate that I'm telling you to do something. I'm going to go first. I appreciate the fact that I told you to do this and it's off course. We're going to talk about it because I got your back. It's little tiny choices. Leadership provides the light. Management provides the heat. Stand from your chairs. Stand from your chairs. Got another exercise for you. So if you had an entire team that were the best of the best, they win everything. They're people that leave your restaurant are going, this is why I shop here. It's why my daughter has a routine in her life. Every time I land in an airplane, we have to get Whataburger just to ground ourselves. Some people take off their shoes and feel the ground. We get Whataburger with number 2 ketchup. Oh, I'll get over it. So I'm still deciding if I tell her or not. So she broke my heart. So 2 words. What are you creating? If you had to define your people into the best people, it would be 2 words: confident and competent. That's what managers do. They create confident team members. And they're competent at what they do, that I don't have to worry about you. It may take a while, but I know you'll get there. Confident and competent. Has anybody been driving down the street and you're going to go talk to somebody you know it's not going to be pleasant? What do you do in the car on the way there? Thank you, it's not just me. Okay, so we have the argument like 8 times in your head, and you've had the battle already, so by the time you get there, they're frothy mad, and you're like, hey, I got an issue with you. And they go, oh, you do? You go, yeah, this. And they go, well, that's not a problem. You're like, oh, man, I was ready for you, too. Have you ever done that? What are you doing in the car on the way there? Thank you. Whose side of the story do you have? Whose don't you have? So what are you doing with their side of the story? I want you to get your heads around that, people of influence. I live behind my eyeballs. I don't know how I work. I need outside data to let me know. Matter of fact, if I have any holes whatsoever because I work behind my eyeballs, just like you heard Mel say, just like you heard Gary say, I'm going to fill that in, and it's either not positive or not accurate. My job as a leader is to help you see you. My job as a manager is to hold up a mirror and go, this is you. Why? Because you work behind your eyeballs. And if I leave it to you, you're going to fill it in. And you're going to fill it in with, it's not positive or it's not accurate, when in reality, you're on fire and you need to know it because I want you to get confident about it. That's what self-esteem is. It's not the fact that I want to walk around going, it's love, 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 love. I know as a businessman, self-esteem is one of the strongest words I can use because I want you to be confident about you. I want you to be confident in us so that you trust me when I go, we're off course and we've got to get it on the table. That's not by accident. I build that. So here's what I want you to do, exercise. I want you to do something or say something with somebody in this room to ignite and impact their self-esteem. Go. Okay. Okay, freeze. Freeze. Don't let me fall. Freeze, freeze, freeze. That was another weird exercise. Wasn't that weird? Okay, so here's what happened. You know what my favorite part of that exercise was? That deafening silence after I said go. I gave you no time to prepare, just like real life. Because in real life, we usually don't go, listen, I'm going to enhance your self-esteem. Give me 10 minutes. I really want to get this way. Right? You know, it's not what happens. We're living on the fly. The tornado is huge. It's in that finger of God tornado. It's crazy in this world. So we don't have time to prepare. We're living on the fly. And that's what I wanted you to feel, because that's what a professional feels. I said, do something to enhance somebody's self-esteem. Go. And everybody went, huh. Not you, 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 not you. And all of a sudden you made eye contact with somebody who went, oh, okay, here it goes. And your mind is cranking. It's cranking like crazy. And this is what's happening. Subconsciously, you are reaching into that bag like crazy. Actually, consciously, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? And out it came. Blech. Love the hair, by the way. Love the shoes, love the whole ensemble. I mean, you had to say something. Now, I know you probably said something good because you're nice people. You know, it might have been historical because you work with them. They might have said something nice. It might have been just because all I got is we just met and all I have is how you look. That's all I got. Lovely smile. Thank you. That's all I got. But the fact is that if you said something, that's just like real life. We go into those situations all the time and we say, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? For the rest of the year, I want you investing in that bag. What are you putting in that bag? What skill sets are you putting in that bag? See, if we leave it to the tornado, it's our personality. And one of the worst things that I think any manager can hear is, oh, I love working with you. You're natural at this. You really are. And it makes me go, oh, wrong compliment. Because the manager goes, no. It's genetic. It's my pheromones. I can't help it. Really? It's your pheromones? You think that's what it is? No. For some reason, you have a knack of saying and doing things that really help. And the more you start to put your hands on that, the more effective you're going to be. As a matter of fact, here's how I can tell a difference as a professional coach, is when the tornado rises, your personality goes out the window. Have you ever worked with that person who's super nice, nicest person in the world, until you add a little tornado? And then they mutate, they go, poof. Really? Have you ever just look at me, do not make eye contact right now. Some of you are going, he's talking about you now, Jack. Yeah. Nicest person in the world until you add a little tornado. That is the difference between personality and skill sets. See, a person with skill sets that knows they're there, that practices in there, those are the people that reach in when it gets hard. That's how you know you own it. I'm not the victim of this. I'm not lucky that I've got a strong team. I do and say things. What are those things? Here's one thing I want you to do immediately. Confidence and competence is built. So to build confidence, I want you to start saying, and you've already heard it today, thank you and I appreciate more. You heard Mel talk about it. You heard Gary talk about it. Here's the way I look at it. If you see it, say it. Why? Because they work behind their eyeballs. And they didn't see how awesome they were. They're moving on to the next tornado. They need somebody on the outside going, by the way, this was you that rocked. You nailed that. Let me do that. And they go, emphasize, and their confidence starts to go. It doesn't happen by mistake. So turn to the person next to you, look them square in the eye and say, I am deeply, passionately in love with you. I really am. Tell them. Too much? All right. Sit. So here's an idea. I want to build, as a manager, my job is to get my people to grow, to get my people to think and do. So I want to grow my folks. How do I do that? I want to build confidence, and I want to build competence. Now, confidence is just me holding up mirrors saying yes to this, yes to this. So if I'm going to give you that confidence, I want you to know that. But if I just left it at I appreciate and thank you, that doesn't build competence. Competence takes a little bit more. Like, for instance, Christopher, do me a favor, stand up. If I was to say, Christopher, at that last meeting, it was great. I mean, you did great. Great team meeting, and I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you did. I want more of those. I really do. I think we can do anything. We just keep having meetings like that. I appreciate your time, and thank you for playing. It's nice. It's nice. You like that? Absolutely. What are you going to do at the next meeting, Christopher? Try to do the same thing. You're absolutely correct. What is the same thing? Not totally sure. I'm not really sure, but you better do it again. You better do it again and more effectively. That's the difference between confidence and competence. See, self-esteem is awesome. Thank you very much, Christopher. I appreciate that. So self-esteem is, thank you, I appreciate, and it builds confidence. It's a good thing. It's like the grease of our relationship. I need those. But if I want to build competence, it's got to be more. Otherwise, I just leave them with, I did great. What are you going to do? I don't know. We're going to do it again. Sure hope. My favorite example of that is the very first time I worked with a gentleman. He was my very first hire. And I remember at our very first meeting, his job was to do the AV stuff. And I gave him, I threw him in the deep end. I go, look, Mike, this is the way it works. Here's the outline of the speech. If you could put together, some flip charts for him, some PowerPoint for that, and just make me look, professional. And he went, excellent. And he put together 5 tight slides, It looked really great. And I had to give him feedback. And as a person of influence, because I'm a manager now, my job is to grow my people. I did the same thing. Mike, it was awesome. Thank you so much. Holy cow. I mean, I never looked so good. I'm so glad you're here. Now, we've been waiting for you. We really have. So thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Now normally you have more time. As a matter of fact, here's the next one. And usually you get a week. And so we have a week. So next Friday, this is yours. But do that magic that you do, man. Looking forward to it. What happened next Friday? Guess how many slides I had? 32 slides. It took a half hour to load. Everything had music. Everything flew in. He goes, my God, if you thought that was great, wait till you see what I can do. And everything, it was massive. I couldn't use it. I'm trying to pull it out. It was too big, too much. In fact, I had to scrap it. And I had to come up to him and give him feedback afterwards. Whose fault was that? Mine. Why? Because all he had to work with was what? Do that magic that you do. What is that? I don't know what that is either. If he didn't tell me how much I screwed up, I would have thought it was him. Holy cow, I got a prima donna on my hands here. No, it was me. But luckily, he gave me a little feedback because those were the words he used. He goes, well, you told me to do that magic that you do. What the heck does that mean? Well, in my interpretation, that's what it meant. And I went, you're right. My bad. And my manager skills went, chung, 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 chung. Won't happen again. I want to be specific. So there's a little template I use now. If I'm going to own it, I am going to keep the thank yous and the appreciations going because that's the grease of our relationship. You need a lot of those. You work behind your eyeballs. I'm going to say, I want you to know my heart, so I'm going to tell you my heart. But when it comes to feedback, I've got a little model, and that's this. I'm going to be more specific. Instead of saying what magic that you did, it's a little template. And I've been a coach for over 22 years, and this is the template people pay lots of money for me to give them because my job is to hold up a mirror and go, this is you. And it's a gift because you rarely get it. So I'm going to be bold enough to tell you the truth. And I'm not afraid to tell you what's wrong either. And this is the template that I've got to use so that you can hear it. And it's a simple little template, and it's on the sheet, so you don't have to write it down. But this is what it is. It's not just you did great, it's here's what you said or did, and this is the impact that it had. The reason why I'm going to do that is because if you don't know what to do, you don't know what to do again. And the reason why most managers just stop there is the one area that makes them fail, because you may give me an observation, but if you don't add the weight to it, I don't know how to hang on to it. So I add one more piece. This is the impact that it had. I'll give you an example. If I were to say, is it Joe? No, Jack. Jack, at that last meeting, you were a chatty patty. Holy cow, I've never heard you talk so much. Everything that was brought up, talk. You had something to give on every single point. That was specific, wasn't it? Is that good or bad? It was good? How many rounds you said it was good? No? What? Well, why was it bad? So if I didn't tell you, why would you say it was bad? Because that's what our brains do. See, most of us don't walk around going, I am amazing, and you can just confirm it, that's fine. Most of us are going, I sure hope they don't find out I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And that's including the people in this room. So I have to give you a gift. If I just left you at my observation, here's an observation, here's an observation, here's an observation, they might take it wrong. And that's where most managers drop the ball. So let me give you a little tip that sets you apart from everybody else. A good grower of people has two pieces. Here's what you did. Don't forget the impact. You guys know this. I hope so. If not, let's do it more. Feedback for improvement is the same thing. Here's where you're off. This is the reason why I'm bringing up the impact that it's having. But if I left it there, it sounds like criticism, so I'm going to add another piece. This is the standard, or this is what we're expecting, and this is why. And all of a sudden, I become a tool to help you become better. You see me differently. I'm your boy. Got your back. Feedback is incredible. Turn to the person next to you, look them square in the face, and go, it's all about feedback. You got to own it. Tell them. Last thought, and then we will wrap this up. Last thought. You know, don't think this is easy, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to invest in yourself this year. I want you to invest in yourself. I want you to spend the rest of your adult life constantly adding the people skills to your bag. That's the difference between a profession and a job. A profession is something I'm never done learning. A job I can learn. Tell me what to do and I'll get better at it over time. But a profession is something I'm always adding to my bag. Leadership, management, those are professions. So invest in yourself this year. The people skills that we take for granted all the time. I want my people to think and do. I want them to be confident and competent. But the tornado has that on your face. The tornado shows up. How do you show people that you're listening? Give me an example. Eye contact, good. What else? Nodding, excellent. What else? Good. Asking questions, leaning forward, excellent. Rephrase what they said, open posture. So if I did this. You got to mix it up. Mix it up. Not too much. You got to mix it up. Absolutely. You know the statistic, a large percentage of our communication comes from everything besides our words. How many of you carry your stress on your face? Yeah, some of you may have to have somebody turn next to you and go, yeah, he's talking about you. How many have this at the end of the day? How many have this just in traffic? You know? How many of you carry your stress behind your neck, right here, between your shoulders? How many of you carry your stress below? You know, stress is a physical thing. It impacts everything. Do you think that tornado shows up on your face? Guys, you're stopping conversations before they start just because you turn the corner and they're going, oh, good Lord, all right, okay. Ladies, there's a reason why they call you Dragon Lady. You know that, right? Too close? Okay. This is physical. I remember coming home from work, and my daughter, the one in the video, is very small. She's 4 years old. She's sitting on my lap. She goes, Daddy, are you mad? Because I would come home from work, and how many of you know that this is, in Texas, this is traffic. Here in Dallas, Fort Worth, it's an hour to get home. You know, my wife would ask me, how's your day? It's good. It was fun. I work at Whataburger. You know, what else is there? We make burgers. It's good times. Work with family. Really? Someone should tell your face. And I remember coming home from work, and when my kids were really little, I got this a lot. Daddy's home. Is Daddy mad? Daddy's mad. Daddy's mad. Why is Daddy mad? Daddy, why are you always mad? And after a while, it would make you mad. I'm not mad. Why do you keep asking me if I'm mad? And all the kids would, ah! They run away. So my little daughter, my daughter Allie is in the video. She's 4 years old. She's sitting on my lap. She goes, Daddy, are you mad? I go, honey, why do you keep asking me if I'm mad? And she takes my face. She looks at me in the face, and she takes her little thumbs, and she pushes up my eyebrows. And she goes, okay, now you're not mad. She changed my business. I got it. Immediately I went, oh, you're a genius. I have a genius as a child. And it hit me, holy cow. I wonder if I'm doing that at work. And the answer is, yeah, probably. Because on the inside, I like being home. I love my wife. I love my kids. I mean, I like being home. But on the outside, I was giving away, holy cow, I wonder how many times my face was starting conversations. I was letting the tornado get the best of me. And the answer was all the time. She changed my business. I took 3x5 cards. I took eyebrows. I drew eyebrows on my 3x5 cards. I stuck it above the door. I put it in my cubicle, put it in my briefcase, put it in my car, because I knew I was passing the tornado on to the people that I met if I wasn't careful, and I had to get my eyebrows up. Little choices. It's little tiny choices, me paying attention. Here's what's going on. And it changed everything, everything. Do me a favor, last exercise. Find some people around you. Don't look at me, look at them. Everybody look at a face. Look at a face, just turn and look at a face. Not my face, look at somebody else's face. Say the word oh. Look. Say the word oh like you're angry. Look. Say the word oh like you're happy. Oh. Now say the word oh like you're suspicious. Look. Now say the word oh like it's pleasurable. Y'all pretty good at that one, aren't you? Whataburger, the love company, woo! Yeah. Look at all the guys in the front. Javier's going, I got it, don't worry, I get it, I understand. 4 different deliveries, same word. All you changed was your paralanguage. All you changed was the things around what you meant. Don't tell me you're not in charge of the craziness of the tornado. You can make little choices. Round 1, you did good. Round 2 created family. Why? Not because of me. All I did was give a vision, just like the leaders of our organization. This is our vision, but there's no power to actually do that. That's you. Making little tiny choices every day to have influence over our people, to own their growth, to own their interactions, to own my team makes me the superstar. I'm not the victim of this. I create this. And when those moments happen, where I impact how they see themselves, where I build confidence and competence, where the tornado may rise to an F5 finger of God tornado where everybody, the mere mortal would run. But when that happens, I get better. Why? Because I go out of my way to build this bag. My family's tight. Why? Because I own them. I own it. And when I'm in that situation where the mere mortal would run, I get a chance to stop. When everybody else is running around like crazy, and I assume the position, and I say, I'm the master of the tornado. Why? Because I own it. God bless everybody. Have a great year. Bye-bye.